Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, whatever you do, don't ask any of these players to train a hand cannoneer as Survivalist playing as the Chinese in blue prepares to take on the Bloodless playing as the Magyars in red. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate and closed off surroundings because we are on Arena today and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age, most likely Castle Age ASAP as they push their stubborn deer. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now, the Chinese, an OG, well-rounded civilization whose economic bonuses and strong tech tree mean players have lots and lots of options on how to crush their enemies. To start with, all technologies for the Chinese get progressively cheaper starting in the Feudal Age, all the way up to 15% cheaper in Imperial. Their farms seed with 10% more food. Their town centers support 15 population space, which is why you'll see Survivalist has 9 out of 15 without a single house on the map. No, he's not playing the Huns. He is playing as the Chinese. And if you take a look, although it might be a little hard to see now, the line of sight on a town center, holy moly, they come with +7 extra line of sight. So you should be able to see a good number of your starting resources right from the very beginning of the game, which does allow you to allocate your villagers a little bit more efficiently than normal. Now, you do hit the ground running every single game with 3 extra villagers, but 200 less food and 50 less wood. Now, to defend the Chinese economy against raids, their walls and towers can be upgraded to get 30% more HP. And on a map like Arena, if the Bloodless is the one who puts on the pressure against the Chinese, might be one of the few times we get to see the Great Wall upgrade in action. And the extra line of sight on your town centers does rather mean that you get to see enemies coming from a mile away. Now, on the field of battle, the Chinese can field all top-of-the-line infantry units, although without the supplies upgrade, be prepared to pay a little bit more for your champions. Their foot archers, their skirmishers are also quite strong, especially if you mix in a little bit of your unique unit, the Chukanu. This is a foot archer that fires multiple arrows, can be upgraded to get a +2 attack, making it hit, I believe, an archer unit that attacks on a 14, ignoring the additional arrows, of course. Now, while their cavalry is decent, Chinese siege can in fact be very problematic since, pardon me, I got a little bit lost in the boar pole. Their siege can be a little bit problematic since their scorpions can be upgraded to get a +4 attack. Now, who might those scorpions be attacking, you ask? Well, let's take a look at the top right side of our map where we've got the Bloodless playing as the Magyars, an incredibly fast-paced civilization with a few features that make them very hard to deal with, both in the early stages of a game and in the later stages of the game. Magyar scouts, light cav, hussars are all 15% cheaper. They get all melee attack upgrades for free, which means the second Bloodless hits Feudal Age, we'll see the box in the top right of your screen for forging light up, then iron casting, then blast furnace in Castle and Imperial. Man, are these deers stubborn. By the way, those free upgrades do save them about 1,000 resources, but more importantly, if not as importantly, the upgrade time blast furnace does take 1:40 seconds. So getting that immediately once you hit Imperial Age, kind of like the Vietnamese get conscription immediately. It just lets you hit the ground running militarily. Now, Magyar cav archers do train faster, can be upgraded to get extra range and attack, and their unique unit is the Magyar Hussar, a light cavalry unit similar to, but a little bit stronger than regular Hussar, except its attack bonuses against siege units, not monks. And by the way, it is a very healthy attack bonus against siege, better than a Mangudai, if you're wondering. And also, the difference, and a second difference, I guess, to put it more specifically, comparing the Magyar Hussar to a normal Hussar, is that the Magyar Hussar does initially cost a bit of gold, although you can upgrade them to have their gold cost replaced with food, which means you do get a unique unit that is essentially a nice, powerful trash unit that is help support their horsey based economy. Magyar villagers can be a little bit more aggressive out on the map earlier in the game because they do require only 1 attack to kill the wild animals. And right now it's the bear's butt that everyone needs to be worried about. Magyar villagers do kill the bear with 1 swipe of their cutlass. And those are the two civilizations. Fairly similar in that, I shouldn't say fairly similar, but somewhat similar in that neither of these civs gets hand cannoneers, bombard cannons. Now, oddly enough, despite having a somewhat weak gunpowder roster, both of these civilizations do get cannon galleons, but not elite cannon galleons. Not that I really expect that to be an issue on a very dry, very parched map like Arena, unless they manage to somehow portage those cannon galleons from a river or a lake somewhere off screen. But very interesting that both of these civilizations are similar in that respect. But, and like I said in the beginning, as long as you don't ask either of these players to train hand cannoneers, bombard cannons, or elite cannon galleons, we should get along like a house on fire. Ooh, where's he going to place the mining camp? Is it going to be one of those weird trap your villager inside camps? Yes, it is. Fantastic until it gets attacked, but on a map like this, don't really expect it to get attacked. A few things to look out for on Arena, as Survivalist already heads up to the next stage off the back of no fewer than 27 villagers. It looks like our Magyar might be going 27 as well if he force drops some food, or maybe he wants to go up to 28. He's already got the resources basically to go up to castle and still a bit of farming, a bit of deer and sheep meat. Now, a few things, as I mentioned, you want to take a look at on a map like Arena is, number one, internal resources. Where are they? Are they in the forward position? And if so, how close are they to the wall? It means how close are they to your enemy and how easily are they lamed. So primary stone here, I should say the only internal stone you get in Arena, you do get one patch of stone, is close but not too close. So it should be decent and safe. This one as well, unless he puts his villagers on this side of the gold, unless Bloodless puts his villagers on this side of the stone. Not really expecting that to happen. Not a big fan of forests forming part of your initial wall off on a map like this, although again, an odd similarity. I believe neither of these two civilizations get siege onager, although regular onager does a just as good a job at deforesting as a siege onager. Both okay, primary stone and secondary gold for Survivalist, also kind of in the forward position, a little bit further away from the gates and walls, so nice and safe. Both players have their gold secure off to the back / side. Both players trapping a few villagers inside this little nook here for blue and this little nook here for red. So very funny to see that. Now, one interesting thing is that usually on Arena, you do get extra gold and stone outside of your walls, outside of your initial settlement, very close by. It's very rare that they're both on the same side here. This is very rare. So if Survivalist has seen this, this might be a decent spot to put on some aggression. A castle right here, maybe some towers. We'll see the Great Wall upgrade does apply to towers as well, I believe, for the Chinese, boosts their HP by 30%. And so we'll see whether or not it is Survivalist who is the aggressor here. Both players going up to castle off the back of 29 villagers. Fantastic. So phase 1 of Arena is about to end. Phase 1 being the phase where the players rush up to Castle Age. Phase 2 of the game, they generally fight over the relics, and Survivalist has seen all but sour. Very sour here. All but one relic he has seen. And what about Bloodless? I feel like Bloodless's scouting so far has been a little lackluster. Yeah, he's only seen 2 of the relics. One further away, one nearby, and now he's getting 2v1'd here by our Chinese, who has 2 scouts to his 1. Make that 3 scouts to his 2. Numbers are ever changing, ever dynamic. And then once the players gather all 5 of the relics and insert them into their respective monasteries, then phase 2 of Arena ends and phase 3 begins, where the players build infrastructure, they build armies, they clash those armies like a little kid playing with 2 dolls or 2 action figures, slamming them into one another. Maybe I was the only one who did that. I had the Batman doll in one hand, the Joker doll in the other, and I would just fight them against one another. And let's see what our Chinese does immediately. Monastery. He's got a bunch of scouts out. And remember, right now, all of the technologies for Survivalists are 10% off. So I actually wonder if it'll show that. Yeah, interesting. It does show it. Instead of 150 food and 100 gold, it shows it as 135.90. For our Magyar, should be 150, 100. Oh, Capture Age. I'm just always so impressed by this user interface on Capture Age. Fantastic software, fantastic team behind it. Okay, interesting. A little bit of a nook here. Not a lot of space for farms, but I mean, very OCD, aesthetically pleasing to shove a town center right into this perfect town center shaped hole in the forest. And are we finally going to have some kills here at the 16.5-minute mark of the game? Seems like it, as a spearman pokes a horse, kills it, and then pays for it with his life. Okay, 4 kills total. Looks like the Bloodless manages to kill 3 of Survivalist's basic scouts. Does lose one spearman for it, though, which means that Survivalist now has scouts that can run amok with absolutely no real counter to them on the map. Our Magyar has upgraded his scouts to light cav, a third TC for you. 0 extra TCs for our Magyar. He is investing all of his focus right now on those 15% cheaper light cavalry units. So in terms of numbers, I don't really expect Survivalists to be able to keep up with this kind of Magyar production, especially since we're fighting light cav. He also might want to upgrade his scouts to light cav, which again will be 10% cheaper. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it should be the exact same cost as Bloodlines, right? The light cavalry upgrade. Oh no, sorry, 135. It's 50 gold instead of 100 gold. My apologies. There we go. Now everyone's got. Actually, no, he doesn't have light cavalry. He still has scout. Why did it show that it was? Why is that first box highlighted? Oh, okay. I think that's just. Silly me. I think that's just the scout box that's highlighted there. I think for red it'll be what, 2 boxes that are highlighted? Yeah, there you go. Learning the user interface together. A few more kills. Nothing really to write home about, but there's we go. Finally a decent get there as a monk lies dead. Magyar light cavalry are just having their way with this weaker Chinese cavalry force, and the kill count now stands firmly in favor of our Magyar. However, relic count so far 1-0. The monk, though he did die, did usher and ferry in the relic fairly close to the base. Okay, I didn't even see the red scout unit attack, but there you go. I guess the attack animation happened so fast. It's like that scene in Watchmen where Dr. Manhattan says, I have witnessed events that happened so quickly. Can you even say they happened at all? I'm butchering that quote, but something along those lines. Second TC, third TC up now for our Magyar as well. One to the rear, one next to the gold, the wood as well. How's this very Nook friendly town center doing, by the way? A couple of farms on this side. Okay. So, Survivalist expanding his farms. Remember, Chinese farms do seed with 10% more food. I believe that is their team bonus, which was why you always want to be weary of a Chinese player together with a Sicilian player whose farm upgrades have a lot more of an impact on their farm values. So it looks like we're about to see 3 relics to 1, unless, oh, Survivalist catches Bloodless out of position, but Bloodless dekes with his monk. Survivalist not paying attention, flies right past the target, and his scout is just a little bit too weak, so he can't really engage into this right now. Will he bring reinforcements? No, he is bringing nothing but death because he is donezo, but a full health scout. Let's see it. Scouts do come with a smaller attack bonus, +6 against monks compared to the +10 of a light cav, which means he's going to need a few more whacks at that monk to kill it, but Survivalist decides against it. Says, you know what, I'll take 3-2. That's fine. I'm okay with that. And I believe phase 2 of the game is about to end. 1 villager, 1 light cav, both trying to run away from the monk conversion lines. They do. And now it is Bloodless's turn to shoo away with a monk. Okay, so a bit of a ping pong here. Very aggressive, of all things, blacksmith, because why the hell not for our Magyar? I mean, you'd expect a siege workshop, maybe an archery range, maybe another stable out of him, but nuh-uh. The Bloodless says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw anvils and hammers at my opponent until he just has no choice but to attack into this. And then rebuilds it. I guess you could just cancel this, get back a little bit of your wood. Imperial Age for both players. Our Chinese will hit it first off the back of 4 extra villagers. Did have his 3 town centers up and running a lot earlier than our Magyar did. So phase 2 of the game, as you can see, 3 relics to 2 at the bottom right of your screen has ended. The players are in castle, check. The relics are accounted for, check. And now the armies come, and Survivalist, who does this frequently on Arena, places a very defensive castle. By the way, speaking of frequently and what they do, I'm one of the reasons I like casting Survivalist Bloodless games is because they need a lot on the ranked ladder. Their elos go up and down as all players' elos do. But generally, they're in the same kind of category of the 2K2 plus, let's put it like that, even though Survivalist right now is dipped a little bit below. The Bloodless has dipped a little bit below the 2K2, but generally, he's in around 2K2, Survivalist, between 2K2, 2K3. And their games are just almost always bangers. I really like casting their games. It's they remind me of, on a bit of a higher level in terms of elo, when MBL and Heart used to be in the Aftermath clan and they would train together on the ranked ladder, and we would get to see some super exciting games. I mean, you can always go back into my video catalog of the library of videos I have on my YouTube channel and just type in MBL Heart, and there's not a single game that's going to disappoint. Believe me, they just absolutely had the most fun playing against one another. And I feel like I don't think these two are on, I don't think Survivalist is in any team or clan or whatever they're called these days. But he tends to meet Bloodless a lot, much like he meets Huang a lot on the ranked ladder, and they have a lot of fun games too. But on Arena, these two, let's just put it, I have high expectations for this game. Although having high expectations is generally a way of being very disappointed. 2 castles for our Chinese who, unless I'm mistaken, while I was rambling and running my mouth, has gone Chukanu's. Okay. So, Elite Skirmisher, Bracer, Chemistry for his ranged units. Husbandry, Chemistry, Bosa, two-man saw for, I'm assuming, a big Cav Archer push. Right now we're going up to 8 Cav Archers, 7 Chukanus. Survivalist trying to scout it. Does see the 1 Cav Archer, so he knows there's a bit of a Cav Archer. Now, it's you're going to have to be a little bit careful if you're going Chukanus to Cav Archers, because generally they cap out at 7 range, unless you're the Magyars, and unless you have an upgrade called Recurve Bow, which adds 1 range and 1 attack, much like Autolot does to Aztec Skirmishers. This upgrade does the exact same thing to the Magyar Horsey Archer, who I believe that is the technical classification. Oh, 1 Wackadoo, 2 Wackadoo, 3 Wackadoo, down falls the monk. Good get there by Survivalist, who's now under immense pressure to the southeast by a single Cav Archer. I'm wondering why Bloodless is doing this. He's kind of revealing to Survivalist that he's already fully upgraded attack-wise. No armor upgrades whatsoever, although Parthian Tactics is coming in right now. So I really do wonder why he was telegraphing his units' stats to Survivalist to just pick at a house. And down goes the last vestige of a Feudal Age army for both players. Except for Survivalist, who still has 1 Spearman somewhere. Oh, there he is, leading the charge straight to his death. Okay. So, aside from the 1 Feudal Age unit, the Castle Age armies escape unscathed. Both players, I believe, have Thumb Ring. Both players now have Ballistics. There's the heavy Cav Archer upgrade for our Magyar. And Chukanus, by virtue of their extra arrows, are not amazing, but above average at taking down structures. I heard an animal growl in the distance. There must be one of those bears that's just looking for a kill. Okay, Bloodless. Playing keep away with his army here. Survivalist engaging into a house. Chukanu's currently at 12, and there's rocketry. So right now they're at a 12. That's going to add +2 to their attack, and it's a dual upgrade. It also adds +4 to Scorpions. So if I'm not mistaken, a Chinese Scorpion should cap out at a 21 attack compared to the usual 16, 17. Bye-bye Skirmisher as you overextend yourself. Looks like a bear activated. Good luck chasing those Cav Archers. Okay, I like what Bloodless is doing here. He's trying to position himself to take over the reinforcement route, and with it, to get the kills. There's Corvinian army. Are we seeing Magyar Hussars? So he must have clicked on the Chukanu. He must have seen that the Chukanu is at a 8+6 and realized that, hey, rocketry has been gotten. Is there a single siege workshop for our Chinese? No, there isn't. So maybe preemptively going Magyar Hussars, or maybe he just wants to go Magyar Hussars instead of his regular light cavalry units. Although it's a little bit strange because, again, the Magyars do pay 15% less for their regular Hussars. Although the upgrade cost itself, I believe, is 600 gold. So he is saving the upgrade cost by getting Corvinian army, which I believe is a lot less than 600 gold. And here we go, a first real engagement. Meat Shield moves forward for the Magyar. Gets exactly what every Meat Shield gets. Certain death. But the Cav Archers have picked off a good number of Chukanus. 11 kills for them. Chukis have 11 kills themselves as well. And now a Magyar Hussars busted in through the actual gates. And what will happen to him? He should die fairly quickly. Will he get a villager? He does not. Stats on the Magyar Hussars, you can see base attack of a 9 instead of a 7. And in Imperial Age, remember, they get Blast Furnace immediately for free. Cav Archer's finally going to get dealt with, or maybe not. Okay. Light Cavalry, not powerful enough to do it on his own. But the center infrastructure here for Bloodless has been cleared up. Bye-bye, Smokey the Bear. I'll start whatever damn campfire I want, says Survivalist. I will cook my s'mores. I will cook my hot dogs. And your public park rules be damned. Another random villager in the middle of the map, building a few Magyar Cav Archer training buildings, also known as archery ranges. Survivalist susses it out. Now he's sussing this part of the map out. Loses the villager. Not too sure if it was the castle or if it was probably the Cav Archers. Yeah. There it is. One civilian kill. But our Magyar doesn't have a response right now to this big Chinese army bearing down on him right through the center of the map. And there's the siege workshop. No upgrades yet. No trained units out of there yet. I mean, I say no upgrades. I believe he already has chemistry, right? Yeah, chemistry should add a +1 attack, and then you add another +4 for rocketry. And there's the Scorpions. I was wondering why the hell we're not seeing Scorpions against the Cav Archer play. Skirmisher Meat Shield is absolutely not what you want here right now. They get got. They killed very few Cav Archers. How many Cav Archers? Just one died in that whole engagement? Fantastic trade there for the Bloodless. Both players just trading out trash resources at the moment. Scorpions are out. Am I right about 21? Yep. 16 plus 1 plus 4. If my Kumon training from my early days tells me anything, I believe that adds up to 21. And out comes the Magyar army, sallies forth to meet this Chukanu force yet again, but we're up 54. 54 Chukanus. What did I tell you about these two players? This is like echoes of Heart and MBL, and just ridiculous fun. Our Magyar not really making use of his 8 range right now to the Chukanus' 7. More Magyar Hussars streaming forward. More Magyar Hussars dying. Are they elite? Yes, they are. Look at this attack bonus +8 against Siege. Isn't that ridiculous? +8. Better than a Mangudai, better than an Eagle Warrior. Oh, and they're going straight for the Scorpions. They get one. It falls literally in the blink of an eye. And here we go. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Archer versus Archer. Multiple arrows versus more attack on a horse, on its feet. One Magyar Hussar gets converted. I wonder what the cape they are wearing. They wear like an animal cape of some kind. I'm not too sure if it's like a jaguar or... I can't imagine there are jaguars wherever the Magyars spawn their units, right? Oh no, he's abandoned his scorpions. Somehow that cav archer off to the top of survivalist space is still alive. But holy moly, when you garrison your castle with Chukanus, what is that, about 10,000 arrows being fired out of there? Are you gonna deal with this unit at some point? Here we go, another sally forth. But more scorpions, more Chukanus, more light cavalry meat shield for the Chinese is moving forward. I mean, this is one of those games where I could pretty much just shut up, which I'm sure a few of you would prefer. Who's kidding who? I could just basically shut up and just zoom in and zoom out when necessary. Now this castle's filled with elite heavy cav archers. My goodness, how many arrows? Holy shit! It's like a Gatling gun. Oh my god. That is just ridiculous. Oh, the things you see in Age of Empires that make this game just these little things that make it so much fun. And why are you moving so slowly? What the hell happened to that one guy? He had a little bit too much indica. Okay, both light cavalry units running into the death zones of their castles. I'm glad that our Magyar is throwing in some regular hussars. That being said, I'm looking at siege, and I said I was about to say that being siege. That being said, the siege count here is 8. That's not a small number. It's not a huge number. Who's kidding who? But it's not a small number when you're pushing in with cavalry archers. Oh no. Oh no, now he moved away from attacking the house. Now he's attacking villagers, and Survivalist is not reacting. Here we go. Chukanus abandoned the scorpions to the left. Is this a trap? Is this on purpose? Why are the scorpions completely undefended, and why are the Magyar hussars charging into Chukanus? Look at how quickly to go through. Might as well be a termite going through wood the way this Magyar hussar goes through the scorpions. They all fall. No more siege for our Chinese except for Trebs. And now this castle for the umpteenth time is under siege by 2 Trebs to the north. Both players bloodied and bruised. Absolutely epic. Kill count is only 30 apart. Bloodless has gotten a lot more villager kills by virtue of that one cav archer. I mean, how many kills does this guy have already? 14 villager kills, and he's slowly reducing the HP of reinforcements until finally Survivalist says, I've had enough. On the other side of the map, though, he's engaging underneath the castle as his own castle falls. His Trebs are moving forward. Fully upgraded Magyar castle, 6389 HP. Don't ask me to do the math. Will it fall or will it be saved? It is in fact saved. 1 Treb remaining for our red Magyar, 2 for our Chinese in blue, who is now rebuilding his scorpion count. And now it is his turn to try to get some villager kills here, but the fancier schmancier lance of the Magyar Hussar prevails. The better trash meat shield here, obviously going to the Bloodless, whether it's the more powerful Magyar Hussar or the cheaper regular Hussar. I mean, the Chinese do cap out at light cavalry, which, to be fair, still attack on an 11. HP is a little bit lower than what you'd want it to be, 80 to 95. And I think the Pierce armor should be the same, right? It should be a 6-6. Yeah. And Survivalist is being pushed back. By the way, we're 50 minutes into this game. I thought we were like 20 minutes into this game. No, we're 50 minutes in, and I have no clue who's winning this. Survivalist has had around 80 army counts for the last, what, 20 to 30 minutes? The Bloodless has managed to stop the center push, despite a bit of a, didn't really want to dip his toes in the water approach earlier on. 2 Magyar Hussars are leading all of these light cavalry on a chase. The rest remain and slaughter those villagers over there. And now villager kills are 50 to 32. Total kills. Bloodless is starting to go a little bit higher incrementally. He is at 186 population compared to the 200 of Survivalist. The Magyars, unfortunately, the longer this game goes on, economically, don't really have any direct economic bonuses. They have some indirect bonuses, right? Like your Hussars are cheaper. Your melee upgrades, attack upgrades are free. So these are kind of indirect bonuses because you need to, obviously, fewer resources means fewer villagers required to gather resources. But there's no real direct. It's not like the Chinese farm that gives you 10% more food. You just spawned. You're ready for action. You run to the battlefield. Your armor is shining. You want to kill some units, and instead you get gunned down on your way to the party. And here we go. Another engagement here in front of the Bloodless's base. Again, he goes for these scorpions. He gets the ones on the left. The ones on the right do survive. Well, survive for a while. Now they're all dead. And without them, Survivalist is stutter stepping his Chukanu's back. How many kills, by the way, on his Chukanu's? 50 kills. Cav archers, 76 kills. So we're doing a good job babysitting these units. Neutral resources, pardon me, neutral resources on the map seem to be exchanging hands here and there. Once in the control of the Red Empire, once in control of the Blue Empire. I'm wondering who will be the first to go around this center attack. We're approaching an hour mark, 54 minutes in. Somebody's gonna have to try to bust their way into the base, right? Wow, these bases are close. Ooh, okay. A second kill for that scorpion. Chinese siege rams are here, but again, you are a siege unit. And because you are a siege unit, the Magyar Hussar guns you down. Now remember, Chukanus are also fantastic at destroying siege units. Their extra arrows do 0 melee. And if you're wondering how the hell 0 melee manages to kill a siege ram or any kind of ram, rams come with negative melee armor. And so let's say -3 or -4. Right, sorry, I guess the calculation is the opposite, right? It's attack minus armor. So 0 minus -4, for example, will give you a +4. Just how that works. And now the raiding has begun. Why did the Bloodless expand out over here when he's got an entire nook safe and secured all the way up here? Odd play there, exposing those villagers to certain death. 33 light cav in the queue for Survivalist, who's at 200 population. Murder holes for the Bloodless. All right. I mean, any player that researches murder holes has a special place in my heart. 55:55 is the timestamp. We are both at 200 population. We are both training 20 to 30 units. This game is going to last a good little while. I suspect whoever breaches the opponent's base first and is able to raid the economy first should probably win this. More stables, more trash. Okay, so he's prioritizing fortified walls is our Chinese. Although to be fair, fortified walls does not cost any gold unless I'm completely off my rocker. Yeah, wooden food, whereas the Great Wall upgrade does at least cost 170 stone. Sorry, I said it doesn't cost any gold. I meant doesn't cost any stone for what it does, which is weird, right? An upgrade that improves stone walls doesn't cost any stone. But I've also said the same thing about siege upgrades. Why the hell does a siege ram upgrade cost 1,000 food? Somebody once said you have to pay the artisans who design the new and the engineers and the people who actually make the ram, but I don't know if that was intended to be a serious answer or not. Chukanus, holy moly. You gotta love seeing a clump like this, but not the most effective use of the clump for a while. All 47 units attacking a single unit one at a time. That's what happens when you don't micro these archer units. The same issue with longbows, by the way. If you don't micro the longbows, they will all attack the same target. Okay. We continue to scuffle in the center. The theater of war has shifted from over here to over here. A massive 10-15 tiles to the south. More Magyar Hussars, more regular Hussars are trying to get villager kills, but our Chinese is on it. Surrounds and kills the attempted murderers who are trying to get those gold miners. Castle's attacking the siege workshop. Survivalist, what you doing? We'll keep an eye on that, but oh, the last thing you want in your resource line is a whole bunch of fully upgraded Magyar cav archers. Although, to be fair, when they stop to smell the roses and attack a mining camp, not that terrible. So both players exposing their villagers. So what Survivalist is doing is a little bit more normal than having your farms over here, I think. Although, to be fair, maybe this does give the Bloodless access to a villager force to repair castles, and oh, here we go. Survivalist. Sneaky, sneaky. Let's see if our Magyar, how he responds to this as the light cavalry move into the Bloodless's base, and based on the minimap have dispersed like a fart in the wind. Ooh, the cav archers are taking a bad fight here, and they are falling. Both players tearing into each other's villager counts. I absolutely love it, but not really able to press further here as Survivalist. There is a castle. Let's see how those light cavalry units are doing. Let's highlight them. They've gotten only 13 villager kills, although that does only count the ones who are still alive. So perhaps the ones who died already got more, but 13 villager kills seems a little low for that kind of incursion. Villager kill, by the way, count identical at 7980. But our Magyar is starting to run away with the total kill count. He's about 80 ahead of his opponent. Now the cav archers are going to be here. Survivalist might be a little surprised to discover that there's nothing here. I love the villager pull. I love the pushing forward of the cav archers. And now he's going to get these last three just as another band attempts to insert themselves into the base, but the quick fingers of our Magyar do stop them from being able to do that. We're an hour and 3 minutes into this game. The Bloodless has 100 army count. I will repeat that. 100 army count. The Survivalist 60. Survivalist is now down 30 total population, struggling to break out above 170. Which is weird because he's trading 30 light cav at once. How many stables does he have? 13 is not bad. -2, 11 stables. Ideally, if you're going to spam light cav, would probably want to see 15 plus. 13, of course, is just as good. And my goodness. Our Magyar is putting on pressure, but there's nothing really here game ending. Where are the Trebs? Where are the, I believe the Magyars... They don't get siege rams, but they do get capped rams. They still do get onagers. House here deleted after about 1 billion years of that one cav archer trying to break into there. And there we go. There's Great Wall. So let's keep an eye on the HP of the fortified wall. Should jump up from 3,000 to 3,900 in a few seconds. But is it too little too late? $3,000, 3,900. Okay, trading out trash here is good. Keeping those cav archers in place for the Chukanus to attack into them. These are cav archers, remember, with Parthian tactics, so they have 6 pierce armor, which is going to make them a bit tougher to kill. Finally, a Treb is rolling forward, but rolling, says Limp Bizkit Treb as he goes back. I think that was a Limp Bizkit song, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure there's a bunch of people right now saying, who the hell, what the hell is a Limp Bizkit? To which I reply, how does it feel not being in your 40s? And Survivalist, uh-oh, his army counts 40 to 82. He's been pressed into his base. And like he did to the Magyar infrastructure in the center, he is now having done unto him. Having his infrastructure destroyed, he can no longer defend this castle, not by keeping his army this safe and secure to the back. He does have 3 Trebs, though. But our Magyar has 3 Trebs as well. Where are they? Where is the 3rd Treb? Wheeling its way very slowly down south. Kill count. Oh man. Our Magyar is ahead 200 kills so far. Villager kills, also he's ahead about 17. Damn you, stable, says Survivalist, as a flurry of arrows descends upon the horses' asses. But what is the name of the game here for our Chinese? Okay, he's back at 200 population. He's had a little bit of time to train the meat shield. Chukanu count still at 41. Never discount 41 Chukanus. $62 fully upgraded Magyar Cav Archers. 175 kills for them. We're an hour and 10 minutes into the game, and despite the tide shifting in favor of our red Magyar, he is one bad fight away from the tide shifting back again. So as much as it does look like the Bloodless is winning, let's see if he can press his advantage here. Survivalist needs houses because his castles have fallen 4, 5, 6 stables to the back. He's got a good amount of food, 67 villagers on... Sorry, he's got a good amount of wood. 67, now 70, now 69. Pardon me. Villagers on food. But here we go. The base has been breached. The bucket has a hole. The cheese is Swiss. And it's only a matter of time until our Magyar just invades the territory here of the Chinese. And once he does, let's see what our Chinese can do here. Now, there are a lot of allies, but these armies are basically the same. You've got an archer unit supporting a meat shield unit. Where the hell are the Chinese cavalry going? Whoa, whoa, whoa. They are very much out of position here. That being said, Bloodless is chasing into 2 castles. Plops down one of his own. Chaos erupts inside the Chinese base all of a sudden. And our Magyar gets pushed back. He's ahead 26 army count to his opponent. The longevity of the Cav Archer and the Chukanu, I really am curious to see how many kills these 2 unit groups have. 31 Chukanus, 58 kills, 61 Cav Archers, 191. Almost a third of the Magyar kills, but what the hell is Survivalist going to do against this castle? We have our answer. Wow. Like I said, one of those games where I didn't really have to cast very much, to be fair. The players had a game plan here, and like I said, I always had big expectations, which is why I probably should curb them 9 times out of 10. But that 1 time out of 10 when it actually hits, oh man, does it hit hard. And wow, what an endorphin rush here this game was. 836 kills to 618. At the end of the day, the Chukanus, 57 kills for the survivors. The Cav Archers, 194 kills for the survivors. And initially, there was a Magyar push. Then there was a Chinese push. Then there was a Magyar push that ended the game. And I love, by the way, that Bloodless has just left the infrastructure up and running. He knows there's nothing to be gained by training units out of these stables. He knows he's not going to see any more Scorpions. An hour and 12-minute mark of the game. You're probably not sitting on a lot of gold, especially if your opponent has evicted your relics. And he knows, and he did not take the time to stop and attack. I mean, he attacked them. These are all HP, reduced structures, but he didn't waste time destroying them. He just moved right past them. The never-ending stream of Hussar units basically give him perfect map vision. Who's kidding who? Look at the map vision right now for our Magyar. I'm clicking a Magyar unit. This is not all visible. This is a Magyar line of sight right now, and Survivalist, with the super fun maneuver here, does manage to get a good number of villager kills, but at the end of the day, 132 to 100. Although I suspect it's the fact that there's the castle here, Trebs behind it. This castle is about to fall, and Survivalist is out of gold, and he does not have a Magyar Hussar. He does not even have a basic Hussar. All he has is a glorified scout with good upgrades. Don't get me wrong, decent upgrades, +4 attack, 6 pierce armor, which is basically the same as the regular Hussar, but the 15 fewer HP or hit points are going to betray this unit, especially when under fire from a castle and a Magyar Cav Archer that attacks on a 12. And what an absolute... The Bloodless did not win this bloodlessly, let's put it like that. 400 light cavalry, 224 Magyar, 207 Cav Archers, 170 regular Hussars, 264 Chukanus, 45 Scorpions. This is just the beauty, the potential of Arena. You know, some games don't last very long. Some games there's a tower push, a castle push, this push, that push, fast castle, fast imp, fast whatever. This was just a classic 1 stage, 2 stage, 3rd stage, boom kind of game. Hour and 6 minutes in is PKPM for Survivalist. So literally 6 minutes ago, more beginning of the game for our Magyar, as he was probably defending the first of the pushes from Survivalist. And after an hour and 12 minutes, after 72 minutes of gameplay, their economies are, what is that, 6,000? Let's simplify it. 4% difference in economies after all that time. Absolutely epic. One conversion, 21 buildings destroyed to 15. Even, I don't think even villager count really is what did it at the end of the day. 30 more villager kills, but Survivalist has expanded to the rear, has plopped down more infrastructure. Where's the 6th stable? Why is that one not up and running? I guess the villager here. No, that's a farmer. What happened to the villager that was constructing these stables? I mean, this guy's got a hammer in his hand, right? Maybe this guy's got a hammer in his hand? No, he's building a farm. In any event, let me know what you think about this. Well, is my suspicion correct that he put villagers here so that he could have a bit of a workforce outside? Because it's a bit of a risky play to put your villagers here when you have so much space to expand this way. But we got to see both unique units. We got to see rocketry. We got to see, more importantly, Great Wall, which is not an upgrade you see very often. And I think both players got both of their unique techs up and running. We got to see a little bit of a side swipe, which netted Survivalist a few good villager kills. But ultimately, he just gets pressed too hard by this Magyar Hussar heavy Cav Archer combo. And how well did Bloodless babysit these units with 194 kills on 61 of them? That's more than 3 kills for each one. And Survivalist, though he ends the game with a monk under the TC, I don't see a single monk here for Bloodless. That doesn't really need them, doesn't really care to have them. He's training 16 units at a time. Survivalist population down to 154. And ultimately, the Chinese push did a lot of damage, really got close to breaching the gate. And I wonder if instead of doing this, Survivalist should have just destroyed this, or used his trebs to just destroy one of these gates. One of these 4 gates, by the way, that are, I guess 3 gates that are Magyar added, 3 extra gates. And instead of doing a bit of a side swipe, if he should have just blunt force trauma focused his army entirely in the center. But that is neither here nor there. What an absolute epic game. Any game where you get to see 264 Chukanus, 224 Magyar Hussars, and 207 heavy Cav Archers for the Magyar fully upgraded is just an absolute epic game. Kill count almost at 1,500. I believe it's almost exactly 1,450. 1454, if I'm not mistaken. That is just an epic kill count for an epic game between 2 epic players. But in a zero-sum game, there must be a winner, must be a loser. And in this particular matchup, with a bit more tenacity, pushing back a very powerful Chinese push, it is our Magyar in red who takes it. But GG to a bloodbath of a game to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.